Hello Internet, my name is Bruno and welcome to the first video on my channel. Today in this Pokemon challenge run, we're going to answer a very simple question. Can you beat Pokemon Emerald only using a Skarmory? Why did I choose Skarmory for this challenge? Well, Skarmory is a Pokemon I've always thought was super cool and I've never really used one in any sort of playthrough. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to see if I can beat the entire game with just using one Skarmory. And it was a lot of fun. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the like button to support the new channel. Before we go any further, let's go over the rules for this challenge run. The rules for this challenge run are pretty simple. In battle, I will only be allowed to use my Skarmory. HM slaves are allowed so I can get past certain stages of the game. No items in battle. Held items are all good, and no stat buffs or exploits. I've also randomized the catching tutorial, so comment down below what you think our random Pokemon is going to be. Alright guys, with all that out of the way, let's get this video popping. We of course name our character Bruno. We start our day, like any other day, by saving Professor Birch from getting bit in the face by a wild Zigzagoon. Using the Pokemon randomizer, I exchange our treat code for our Skarmory, so we can do the whole challenge run from the beginning with it. The first battle is pretty uneventful. I just pecked the Zigzagoon in the face a couple of times with my metal beak, and he goes down easily. Professor Birch is so grateful for saving his life, he allows us to keep the Skarmory, we name her Skylar, and we officially have started our challenge run. A quick review of our Skylar. She's a steel type flying Pokemon. She has the ability Keen Eye prevents loss of accuracy, and she also has a hasty nature. Skylar is a pretty beefy Pokemon with high defense, good attack and speed. Our two starting moves are Leer and Peck. Alright guys, let's get going. On to our first rival battle. Our rival May has picked Torchic, but that's no problem for Skylar. A couple of pecks and Torchic goes down easy. Now guys, check out your comments down below. Let's see what our random tutorial Pokemon is going to be. And it's an Umbreon. Wow, didn't see that coming guys. Quick update on our moveset. At level 10 we learn Sand Attack, and at level 13 we learn Swift. First gym leader Roxanne has 2 level 12 Geodudes and a level 15 Nosepass. She was a lot harder than I expected. My 2 damaging moves in Peck and Swift are not very effective against her rock type Pokemon. Her 2 Geodudes like to use Defense Curl a lot, so I'm finding it difficult to make any sort of damage against them. I failed this gym a couple of more times before deciding that I'd need to do some grinding. After grinding my Skarmory up to level 20, I gave the gym another shot. My game plan was pretty simple: to Sand Attack each of her Pokemon 5 times and hope that she misses most of her attacks. After lowering all of her Pokemon's accuracy, I followed up with some Pecks and some Swifts, and just like that we got our first gym badge. After getting the letter for Steven, we face our rival again. She sends out Lotad first, which goes down in just 1 peck. Our rival sends out her Torchic next, which actually takes 2 pecks in the dome for it to go down. And with Torchic out of the way, we've defeated our rival again. We give the letter to Steven, and he repays us by giving us the TM for Steel Wing. We then teach Steel Wing to our Skarmory. Skarmory actually learns Steel Wing by level up at level 32, but I thought it might be useful for it to know it now. Brawly, the second gym leader, has a level 16 Machamp, a level 16 Meditite, and a level 18 Makuhita. All of his Pokemon are fighting types, so they all receive the same fate by being pecked to death by my big metal bird. This was definitely the easiest gym battle in the whole run, and with that we have our second gym badge. Next major event is our third rival fight. She has a level 18 Wingull, a level 18 Lombre, and a level 20 Combusken. Her Wingull goes down only after 2 pecks. Her Torchic has evolved into Combusken. This actually helps us because now Combusken is a fire fighting type, so only 2 pecks it takes for it to go down. Lombre only takes 1 peck to the head before going down, and that's our rival defeated once again. A quick move update. At level 29, Skylar learned Air Cutter. We find Wally outside the gym in Mauville City, and he challenges to a battle. This is a pretty easy battle, only 1 Swift to the face and Rolse goes down. After defeating the family in the house north of Mauville City, I get the held item from Macho Brace, and I give it to Skarmory. This will promote physical growth when leveling up, but it will slow down Skarmory during battle, so I'll only use this during trainer battles and when grinding. Now, let's give the third gym leader Watson a go. This is the gym I was most nervous about, and I was right to be. His electric type Pokemon are all super effective against my metal bird, and I don't really have any moves that can destroy them quickly. Also, all of his Pokemon have the move Shockwave, which is super effective against me, and it never misses, so I can't spam Sand Attack this time. Unless I get a critical and one-shot his Manectric will always use Thunder Wave first, paralysing me and making the job a lot harder. Once I reach the Magneton, I'm usually too low health and paralysed to do anything about him taking me out in one Shockwave. I'm going to have to do some grinding and come up with a new game plan. After doing some grinding, I reached level 37, so I decided to give Watson another shot. After trying this gym many times, sometimes I'll get past the Manectric, no problem, but I would never be able to get past his Magneton. My moves are just not effective against him. I'm going to have to come up with a new strategy or else I'm never going to get past his Magneton. I decided to teach my Skarmory the move Rock Smash. It's a fighting type move, only 20 power, but at least now I can combat the Magneton since he is weak to fighting types. I restart the fight again, he sends out Voltorb. I was unlucky to not get a one-hit KO off of Swift. He wastes his Super Potion healing his Voltorb, and then I Swift him again in the face and I get a one-hit KO the second time. Next up is his Electrike, which goes down just in one easy Swift to the face. Next up is his Manectric. I'm quick enough to get a Swift off first, bringing her down to roughly half health. Manectric hits me with Thunder Wave, but I was prepared this time, and I gave my Skylar a Chia Berry to hold, so if he happens to use Thunder Wave, I heal myself. With a second Swift, I managed to take out the Manectric without getting paralysed or taking any damage. I goofed up here a little bit at the beginning with Magneton. I wanted to use Rock Smash, and by mistake I used Steel Wing. Steel Wing's ineffective, and his Magneton gets a free Thunder Wave on me, which paralyzes me. I go to use Rock Smash on him. Now I am slower because I'm paralysed, and he also hits me with a Supersonic, so I now have to combat the Paralyze and the Confusion. I get lucky the first time out, and I manage to hit him with a Rock Smash, bring him down below yellow health. I realise I'll have to hit Magneton twice with Rock Smash to take him out. I'm still paralysed and still confused. He hits me with a Shockwave that does decent amount of damage. My Skarmory is confused, but I'm lucky enough that he shakes off the confusion, hits a Rock Smash, super effective, and a critical, taking out the Magneton, and we get our third gym badge. We climb Mount Chimley to deal with the Team Magma shenanigans, and we have our first fight with the Team Magma leader, Maxi. At this point, we're a much higher level than his Pokemon, so we breeze past his Mariana with 2 Steel Wings. Camerupt is a pretty beefy Pokemon and a fire type, so I was a little nervous he might have a super effective move against me. I quickly realised that I was just overreacting since his Ember did very little damage against me and I didn't get burnt. After realising Steel Wing was not very effective, I decided to go for Air Cutter and I do pretty good damage. He decides to go for Magnitude, but it doesn't hit me because I'm flying type. He wants to keep his Camerupt alive a little bit longer, so he decides to use a Super Potion, bringing it almost up to full health. Skylar's having none of that, hits him with another Air Cutter, brings him down to about 30% health. After another Super Potion, I think Skylar gets a little fed up with this battle, hits another Air Cutter, gets a critical hit, and the Camerupt goes down. He leaves his best Pokemon for last. He sends out his Zubat. Zubat goes down with just 1 Air Cutter to the face. After dealing with Team Magma, I hop my way down to Fallabor Town. 4th Gym Leader Flannery uses Fire-type Pokemon, which are super effective against my Skylar, so I was a little nervous going into this battle, but at level 43 I really didn't think I would have any problems. I was very wrong. The fight starts off pretty well with her Numel and her Slugma going down with 1 Air Cutter each. Camerupt manages to tank an Air Cutter, then he follows up using Sunny Day, but the second Air Cutter takes it out. Last up is her Torkoal, which always leads with Overheat, a really powerful 150 power, super effective fire move. My special defense isn't good enough, it always takes me out with 1 hit. I need to figure out a new game plan. I need to avoid getting hit with Overheat, so I teach my Skarmory Double Team to increase its chances of missing. I begin the fight by spamming Double Team 6 times to max out my evasiveness. I also chose to do it against Numel, because for whatever reason he continues to use Magnitude, which isn't effective against me. It gives me the perfect opportunity to max out my Double Team. Once Double Team is maxed out, I go on the attack. Numel is a 1-hit from Air Cutter. Slugma is also a 1-hit from Air Cutter. Next up is our Camerupt. We hit hard with Air Cutter, but it's not enough to take it out with 1 hit, dropping it almost close to red health. Camerupt decides to go for Sunny Day, setting up for Overheat. Flannery hits it with a Hyper Potion to bring it back to full health, but then I hit it with another Air Cutter. She decides that her Camerupt is a lost cause, and she allows me to take it out with another air cutter. Last up is her Torkoal. Even so, I use double team 6 times. She uses overheat, it hits me and takes me out. I was in absolute total shock when this happened. In my next attempt, I go for the same game plan. I spam double team 6 times to max out my evasiveness. She misses overheat twice, and once she reaches red health, she uses a hyper potion. After she misses overheat 2 more times, I hit her with another 3 air cutters to take her out, and then we get our 4th gym badge. Just on a little side note, my HN Slave Ninkata that I use in my double battles evolved into Ninja skill level 20, and since I had an empty Pokeball and an empty slot in my party, I also got a Shedinja. I used to love this special evolution. It blew my mind the first time I did this. Comment down below what your favourite special evolution is. On to the 5th gym to face our father in a battle to the death. Well, maybe not death, but in a Pokemon battle. He uses normal type Pokemon, and since Skarmory is a steel type, we resist normal type moves, so I wasn't worried going into this battle. Just to be safe, I spam double team at the beginning of the battle to increase my evasiveness. After 1 hit from Air Cutter, Spinda goes down to red health. Our father wastes a Hyper Potion on his worst Pokemon, and that's a good thing for us. After 2 more Air Cutters, Spinda goes down. Next up out is his Vigoroth. His Vigoroth uses Facade, which does very little damage. We decided to take advantage of our super effective fighting move with Rock Smash. It does decent damage and lowers his defense. He uses Feint Attack, which never misses, but it's not very effective against my big metal bird. After 2 more Rock Smashes to the face, his Vigoroth goes down. Next up for the gym leader is his Lidneed. Lidneed with Slash does very little damage against my metal bird. I reply with a Steel Wing to the face, and we take out the Lidneed. Last Pokemon is the big boy himself, Slacking. You might be wondering, how the hell did a Slacking outspeed a Skarmory? Well, remember I gave our Skarmory the Macho Brace to hold? It cuts its speed in half during battle, so a bit of a ripperino there by me. Slacking uses Yawn, so it will put me to sleep in the next turn. But before I go for my nap, I hit him with 2 Steel Wings for good damage. Slacking then eats its Citrus Berry, restoring his health by 30 HP. After sleeping for 5 turns, and taking a few feint attacks, I finally wake up. I use Steel Wing and drop Slacking to 1 HP, but Norman uses a Hyper Potion, returning Slacking to full health. I then use Air Cutter to try and get a lucky crit, because Air Cutter has a high crit ratio, but Slacking uses Counter, which takes me out. Why didn't he use Counter earlier in the fight? I don't know. I try the fight again with the same game plan, only now this time, I only attack the Slacking when it's lofting around, so I can't get cheesed by Counter. I repeat this tactic another couple of times around. He does use a Hyper Potion on Slacking at some stage, but it's not going to stop him from going down. And with that, we got our 5th gym badge and we've defeated our father. Now that we can use Surf, I hit all the trainers on the water routes around the map to get all that sweet and tasty XP. After defeating all the trainers, I started making my way up to Fort Tree City. While battling some trainers, Skylar reached level 50, so I wanted to give you guys an update on our stats. At this point in the game, we pretty much outspeed everything, and it's 1 or 2 hits for most Pokemon. Our special defense isn't the greatest, so I still need to be careful when coming up against electric and flying type Pokemon. And you can see our moveset hasn't changed for a while. We have Air Cutter, Steel Wing, Rock Smash and Double Team. After helping out the guys at the Weather Institute, we face our rival again. This was another pretty easy fight. Her Pelipper stalls us a few times using Protect, but eventually goes down from 2 Air Cutters. Just 1 super effective Air Cutter takes out her Combusken easily. Last out is our Lombre, which actually damages us using Fake Out, taking away an hilarious 1 HP. Next move we outspeed, we use Air Cutter and we defeated our rival once again. Next up is Winona, the 6th gym leader. She uses flying type Pokemon, so I don't have any real advantage over any of her Pokemon. Her Swablu goes down only after 1 Air Cutter. Tropius is part grass type, so my Air Cutter is super effective and it takes it out in 1 hit. Next out is Pelipper. A little bit of deja vu from our rival fight. Pelipper stalls us out by using Protect. Next I use Steel Wing. I actually get a lucky critical hit, but unfortunately I don't take it out in 1 hit. I thought 1 hit would be enough. Pelipper then uses Supersonic and confuses me. Winona uses a Hyper Potion while I stall myself out by hitting myself due to confusion. After getting stalled again by Protect, Hitting myself twice from confusion, I hit 2 air cutters before taking the Pelipper out. Next up is my brother from another mother, Skarmory. My Skarmory has the move Rock Smash, which does neutral damage and lowers its defense, because Skarmory is a pretty beefy Pokemon and my other moves are just not very effective against it. After 2 more hits using Rock Smash, I managed to get a lucky crit and I take out the Skarmory. Last up is the only Pokemon I was half worried about is her Altaria. She hits me with a Dragon Breath which doesn't paralyze me. My Steel typing is really starting to show how effective it is, since Dragon moves are not very effective against my big metal bird. I hit it with an Air Cutter, takes it down just below halfway health. It goes ahead and eats its Oranberry. The Oranberry didn't help very much because another Air Cutter to the jaw, I get a lucky critical hit and the Altaria goes down. And just like that, I got my 6th gym badge. After battling all the trainers on Route 121, we meet our rival again in Lily Cove City and she challenges to another battle. She sends out her Tropius first, which goes down easily from only 1 Air Cutter. Next out she sends out her Pelipper, which stalls us using Protect again. This is starting to get really old really quick. On the next turn she goes for Protect again and she's successful, blocking our attack, which stalls us even further, and I can tell Skylar's getting more and more pissed off about this. On the next turn we outspeed it, we hit it with Air Cutter and it goes down in 1 hit. Next Pokemon out is her Combusken, which goes down also after 1 Air Cutter. Last out is her Ludicolo, which I'm guessing you know what move I'm going to use. I give it an Air Cutter to the face and it goes down. And that's our rival defeated again. In Lily Cove City, we pay a visit to the move deleter and we have him delete Rock Smash from Skarmory. We don't really need this move anymore and I wanted to make room for another move. Almost next door, we visit the guy who gives us the TM for Rest and we teach it to Skarmory. Rest especially will come in handy since we cannot use items in battle, especially in the Elite Four when we start to fight much stronger Pokemon. We do some underage gambling in the department store in Lily Cove City. We don't win anything, but we don't lose anything either, so a win-win. We then go to Team Magma's hideout underneath Mount Chimley. We find Maxie at the bottom of the hideout. He's having a chat with Groudon. The blue orb in his back pocket starts reacting. Groudon is not happy about that at all, and Groudon gets the head out of there. Maxie pretty much blames us for everything because he's colorblind and he doesn't understand the blue orb wouldn't work with a predominantly red Pokemon. He challenges us to a fight. He sends out his Mightyena, which intimidates us straight away, lowering our attack. He then uses Scary Face, which lowers our speed. His next turn he uses a Super Potion on his Mightyena. We then hit him with a Steel Wing, doing a lot of damage. On his next move he uses Swagger, which is actually good and bad for us. He sharply raises our attack, but also confuses us. We manage to get lucky, the confusion doesn't work, we shake it off, and we hit him one more time with Air Cutter to take him out. Next out is his Camerot. He starts off by using Amnesia, which increases his special defense. But lucky for us, all of our moves are physical attacking moves, so that doesn't help him at all. We fight off the confusion again to land a Steel Wing to get big damage. Maxie uses a Super Potion on Camerot, but guys, you know that's not going to help him too much. I snap out of confusion, I hit him with an Air Cutter, and I take him out in 1 more hit. Last out is his Crobat, a Pokemon that I really like. He hits us with Confuse Ray straight away, making sure we spend this whole fight confused. But lucky enough for us, not once did we hit ourselves due to confusion. We hit him with Air Cutter and he goes down 1 hit. And that's Maxie taken out again. Next is the 7th gym. This was an interesting gym because it's a double battle, so one of my HM slaves will be dragged into battle. The twins, Tate and Lisa, use Psychic type Pokemon, which are not very effective against my big metal bird. I decided to use Air Cutter because it damages both Pokemon on the opposite team. I wanted to see how much damage it would do, but then it didn't do so much, so I decided to use Steel Wing against them instead. This gym battle was a little messy because they kept on attacking my HN slaves, so I'm only going to show you the footage involving her 2 Pokemon and my Skarmory. I hit Claydol hard using Steel Wing, but not enough to take it out. Her Xatu for some reason decides to use Sunny Day. And her Claydol goes for Earthquake, which doesn't affect Skylar, but does take out my other HM slave. I goofed up a little bit again. I forgot to remove the Macho Brace, so Skarmory is actually going last because now he's very slow. I hit with another Air Cutter to try and take out both of them, but both of them live, Claydol just with a little bit of health. She used a Hyper Potion on her Claydol, and something you don't see every day, the AI actually removed Xatu and sent out Solrock. Solrock is part Rock type, so it goes down easily with 1 Steel Wing. Xatu takes out my last HM slave. Claydol then uses Psychic on my Skarmory, but does very little damage, although he even got a crit. 1 Steel Wing is enough to take out Xatu. Claydol starts off by using Earthquake. Can't affect me, or it can't affect his own Lunatone, because Lunatone has the ability Levitate. Lunatone starts by hitting me with Psychic, does a surprising amount of damage for a move that's not very effective, lowers my special defense. Skylar replies with Steel Wing to the face. Lunatone half rock type, Steel typing is super effective against him and takes him out in one hit. It's now mono e mono, Skylar versus Claydol. Claydol starts off the round by hitting me with another Psychic, bringing me just below half. I hit him with a Steel Wing, doing big damage. Claydol hits me with another Psychic, bringing me down actually to red health, my first time in a long time being in red health, but not enough to take me out. One more Steel Wing to the face, and Claydol goes down again. And with that we got our 7th gym badge. We then head over to the space station to take care of the Team Magma shenanigans. There we meet Maxi, who challenges myself and Steven to a double battle. Silly decision by him, me and Steven take them out with no problems. After dealing 1 or 2 Pokemon events, we end up going to Sutopolis and we find Groudon and Kyogre in an all-out battle to the death. Then Rayquaza steps in, lets out 1 or 2 big dragon-like shouts. Kyogre and Groudon poo their pants a little bit, they go back to sleep, and then we can move on to the 8th gym. Last gym leader is Juan, and he uses water-type Pokemon. He sends out his Love Disc to begin, so I start double teaming to increase my evasiveness. He hits us with a Sweet Kiss, which confuses me. After I hit myself once due to confusion, I get a little fed up with his Love Disc, so after 1 Air Cutter, I take it out. Next out is his Whiscash. I go for Steel Wing so I can take it out next turn or just 1 Air Cutter to avoid him using a Hyper Potion. Whiscash uses Amnesia, which doesn't help him at all, since my moves are physical moves. My evil little plan doesn't work. Air Cutter leaves him with about 1 HP, and then he sets up a Rain Dance. After 2 more Air Cutters, Whiscash goes down. I really should have just done this from the start. Next out is Acelio. I lead with Steel Wing, doing good damage, and then he hits me with a Water Pulse. Unlucky for us, his Water Pulse actually confuses us. Our luck changes, we snap out of confusion, we hit Fake Dugong in the face with another Steel Wing, and Fake Dugong goes down. Next out is his Crawdont. We hit him hard with Air Cutter to begin with. He taunts us, which means we can only use physical attacking moves, but to be honest, we were going to do that anyway. We hit him with another Air Cutter, and he goes down. Next out is his Kingdra. We hit it with Air Cutter to do okay damage, but the second Air Cutter is a critical hit, taking him out. And with that we have our 8th gym badge. I guess we're number 1 now, Juan. In the caves of Victory Road, we find Wally just wandering around. He challenges to another fight, and he's actually gotten pretty beefy. Although he's beefier, he's still no match for my big metal bird. Altaria's out first. We hit him with an Air Cutter, bring him down to red health. He hits us with Dragon Breath, which paralyzes us. Wally then goes ahead and uses a full store, bringing his Altaria back to full health. But with 2 more Air Cutters, we take it out. His Magneton is the only one that I had a little bit of a problem with. I started to spam double team just to avoid any of his electric type moves. My moves are not very effective against his steel typing, so I just have to nip him down using Steel Wing, but eventually we take him out. Next up is his Delcatty. I hit it with Steel Wing thinking I'll get a one-shot. Unfortunately I just bring it down to really low health. He then goes for Sing, which I poop my pants a little bit about, but he misses. I hit him with another Air Cutter and we take him out. Next out, Wally sends out his Gardevoir, his big boy. Not big enough though. Steel Wing takes it down just below half health. Gardevoir sets up a Future Sight, and then I hit it again with Steel Wing to take it out. Last out is his Roselia. I have a super effective move in Air Cutter, so I hit Roselia in the face, we take it out, and we've defeated Wally again. After blasting past all the trainers in Victory Road, we reach the Elite Four. There we do maybe the most satisfying thing a man can do in Pokemon, and we use all our rare candies to bring Skarmory up to level 72. A quick review of Skarmory at level 72 before we begin the Elite Four. Decent attack, decent speed, really high defense, and decent HP. We gave him the item Lax Incense to hold, which lowers our opponent's accuracy. And our moves are the same. We got Steel Wing, Air Cutter, Double Team, and Rest. Let's do this. First Elite Four member is Sydney, and he uses Dark type Pokemon. His Mightyena intimidates me straight away, which lowers my attack, which is just not cool. But after 2 Steel Wings, his Mightyena goes down. Next out is his Crawdont. I hit him with Air Cutter doing decent damage. He then sets up with a sword stance, which makes me a little nervous. But then my next air cutter is actually a critical hit, and he goes down. Next out is his allll. I hit him with Steel Wing, doing decent damage. Allll decides to set up with a sword stance. He's obviously been hanging around with Crawdon too much, sharply raising his attack. Allll eats his Citrus Berry, which brings it up 30 HP, which means I can't take it out with another Steel Wing. When Steel Wing hits, it brings him down to red health. Allll uses Rock Slide, which made me a little nervous, but then I remember my Steel Bird is a beast. It takes very little health away from me. Brawl uses a full restore on allll, and 2 Steel Wings later, we take it out. Next out is his Shiftry, which is a 1-hit from Air Cutter. We get a critical hit, but I don't think that was necessary. Cacturn is also a 1-hit from Air Cutter, and just like that, Sydney's defeated. The first Elite Four is out of the way on our first attempt. Next Elite Four member is Phoebe Buffet from Friends. Phoebe uses Ghost type Pokemon. Ghost types tend to have low defense, so I breeze through this one since my 2 attacking moves can hit and they're both physical attacks. I know from experience that her Dusclops likes to use Protect first, so I take advantage and I use a double team. She gets a little lucky and she uses Protect twice, and stalling us out a little more. I finally hit with Steel Wing, taking it just below half health. She responds with a Shadow Punch, which is not very effective against me. I then hit with a second Steel Wing to take out the Dusclops. Next out for Phoebe is her Bayonet. I decide to use Steel Wing to see can I take it down 1 hit. Unfortunately I don't, I bring it down to red health and he uses Thunderbolt. I poop my pants a little bit thinking this actually might do more damage. It's super effective, but because it's not stab, it didn't do a lot of damage. She starts by using a full restore on her Bayonet. It's not going to help her too much. 2 more air cutters to the face and we take out that Bayonet. Next out is her second Bayonet. I hit it with Air Cutter, bringing it past half health. She tries to use Shadow Ball and miss. I go for a second Air Cutter and she cannot survive, I take it out. I start off by using Double Team against the Dusclops, thinking it might use Protect, but it didn't, and it hits me with an Ice Beam, doing very little damage. After I hit it with an Air Cutter, I get a critical, but unfortunately it's not enough to take it out. She goes for Ice Beam again and misses. 1 more Air Cutter is enough to take out the Dusclops. I thought her Sableye would be super easy, but after I did a couple of misses, she hits me with Nightshade, which brings down to 21 health, almost taking me out, forced me to use Rest. After I take 1 more Nightshade and a Shadow Ball, Skarmory wakes up, hits it with Air Cutter and takes out the Sableye, and that's Phoebe from Friends defeated. Next up in the Elite Four is Glacia, the Ice type user. This was by far the easiest battle of the Elite Four. 2 of her Pokemon are weak to Steel types, and her Ice type moves are not very effective against my Metal Bird. I hit her Fake Dugong with a Steel Wing while she sets up a Hail. On the next turn I hit her with Air Cutter to take her out. Next out is her Glalie. Glalie is an Ice type, which means she's weak to Steel type moves, so I hit her with a Steel Wing to get an easy 1-hit KO. Next out is her second Celio. I hit her hard with Air Cutter, bringing it down to about half health. She hits me with Blizzard. Because the hail's still up, Blizzard doesn't miss. Takes me down about half health also. And the second Air Cutter takes out the Fake Dugong. That's her second Glalie. And it's Deja Vu, 1 Steel Wing and it goes down. Last out is her most beefiest Pokemon, Walrein. I hit it with Steel Wing, taking a good bit of damage away. It hits me with Ice Beam, bring me down to red health, so it forced me to use Rest. Rest is a move I haven't really been using too often, but I'm using it a lot now in the Elite Four because these are some beefy Pokemon. While asleep, she hits me 3 more times with Ice Beam. I realise I have to get a critical to take her out, and guess what? I get the critical. The Walrein goes down, and Glacia is defeated. The last Elite Four member is Drake. He has some beefy Dragon Pokemon, but I have full confidence in my big Metal Bird. First out is a Shelgon. I take advantage and I spam Double Team to make this fight a little easier for me. Once I've maxed out my Double Team, I go on the attack. I hit him with Steel Wing, bring him down to half health. He actually manages to hit me with Dragon Claw, but Dragon moves are not very effective against my big Metal Bird. Second Steel Wing, we take out the Shelgon. Next out is a Flygon. Flygon begins by using Flamethrower, actually hits us despite the fact we used Double Team 6 times. We respond with a Steel Wing, taking it down to half health. Flygon is actually one of my favourite Pokemon of all time, so this was a bittersweet victory for us. He goes for another Flamethrower, he misses. and then a second Steel Wing takes out the Flygon. I still love you, Flygon. Next out is a Salamence, which is an absolutely terrifying Pokemon. He begins by Flamethrower and actually hits us, bringing us down to 8 health, and I'm going to be honest, I pooped my pants a little bit here. We respond with a Steel Wing that doesn't do much health, but lucky for us we have Rest, but he outspeeds us and misses his Crunch. So Skylar goes for a little rest and restores all of her HP. While I was asleep, he goes for Flamethrower a few more times but misses them all. I hit him with a Steel Wing, I get a critical hit, and we take out the Salamence. Next out is his Kingdra. His Kingdra starts by using Dragon Dance, a move that increases his attack as its speed, so it got me a little nervous, especially that Air Cutter doesn't do that much damage. After 2 full restores and 4 Dragon Dances later, 1 hit from Surf from his Kingdra could take out our Skylar, but we're lucky enough he continued to miss and we take him out. The last Pokemon for Drake is his Altaria. His Altaria has Aerial Ace, which never misses, but it's not very effective against my Skylar. Air Cutter doesn't do a lot of damage, but after a couple of more Air Cutters, we take out the Altaria and we've defeated Drake. Now on to the champion. We've made it, guys. We've made it to Wallace, the Hoenn champion. His first Pokemon is Wailord, which is possibly the beefiest Pokemon ever to exist. We begin with our traditional strategy of spamming Double Team to increase our evasiveness. 3 Double Teams later, his Wailord uses Water Spout, a move that does more damage if your Pokemon has more health. This does a lot of damage against my Skylar, it makes me super nervous, so I realise I'm going to have to damage this thing to lower Water Spout's effectiveness. But first we use Rest to recover our HP. While I was asleep he hit us with Blizzard, doing okay damage, but he hits us with Water Spout again, bringing us down to 4 HP. I had myself a little heart attack and realised I had to pray to the critical gods. Went for Air Cutter, prayed for a critical hit. Look how slow that HP bar goes down. I get my crit, but it doesn't quite take it out. He goes for Double Edge, he misses. Predicting that he would use a full restore on his Wailord, I decided to use Rest to recover my HP also. While I was asleep, he hit me with Blizzard again. I woke up, hit him with a critical Air Cutter, and then 1 more Air Cutter and we take out the Wailord. Next out is his Tentacruel. I hit him with Air Cutter, bring him down to half health. He misses his Hydro Pump and another Air Cutter and he goes down. Next out is Ludicolo. Ludicolo actually takes 2 Air Cutters before going out. I thought it would be a 1-hit KO. But yes, of course, the second Air Cutter takes it out. Next out is his Whiscash. I use Air Cutter, I get a lucky critical hit. Deja Vu, another Whiscash uses Amnesia, increasing his special defense, but does nothing against my physical attacking bird. I go for another Air Cutter and we take out the Whiscash without receiving any damage. Next out is Gyarados, which intimidates me, lowering my attack. Gyarados hits me with Surf, even so I maxed out my Double Team. I'm lucky enough to get another critical hit from Air Cutter and the Gyarados goes down easily. Next up is my Milotic, another personal favourite of mine. Because of Gyarados' intimidation, my Air Cutter is not doing anywhere near as much as it would. I hit him again with a couple of more Air Cutters. He combats it once or twice using Recover, but after a couple of more Air Cutters, he goes down. And just like that, guys, we've completed Pokemon Emerald only using a Skarmory. We get inducted into the Hall of Fame. We can now relax, put our feet up, drink a brew, because the game is finished. But yes, guys, we haven't forgot. We have 1 more fight with Steven. We need to hunt him down and defeat him so we can say we are the true champions of the Hoenn region. We head to Meteor Falls to fight Steven. He's just chilling in a cave on his own like some sort of crazy man, so we challenge him to a fight. He sends out my brother from another mother, Skarmory. His Skarmory's level 77, mine's only level 74, but there's only 1 true Skylar. His Skarmory has no moves that are very effective against me, and I have no moves that are very effective against him. So I take this opportunity to max out my Double Team to increase my evasiveness. After I maxed out my Double Team, he hits me enough that I needed to use Rest, but a couple of Steel Wings later and we take him out. Next up is his Aggron, another personal favourite of mine. I continue to hit Steel Wing and use Rest when necessary until we take out the Aggron. Next out is his Claydol, which stalls me a little bit by using Reflect, but a couple of Air Cutters later and I get a critical hit, we take it out. Next out is Crawdilly. I hit him with Steel Wing, he misses his Ancient Power, and then I hit him with another Steel Wing to take him out. Next out is his Senior Almardo. We hit him with Steel Wing, which is super effective. He hits us with Aerial Ace. How the hell does this thing have a flying move? A second Steel Wing and we take it out. Steven's last Pokemon is his Metagross. seriously beefy Pokemon. Our 2 moves are not very effective against him, so he's going to have to keep hitting him until he runs out of full restores and get a bit lucky that he continues to miss us. After he uses his 2 full restores, we keep nipping away until we take it out. And just like that, guys, we have defeated the entire game, entire Pokemon Emerald with just our Skarmory. Thank you guys so much for watching my first video. I hope you really enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. Comment down below what else you'd like to see me do next time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until then, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next Pokemon Challenge run. Peace!